Hey everyone, welcome to Murphy's Law Garage. We are on Phase 1, Part 4 of our Ultima STEEDA handling upgrade on the Ecoboost Mustang. The last part of Phase 1 before we go get an alignment are their STEEDA's adjustable tow arms. These things are awesome. Check this out. Clearly being built out of, Dom tube steel makes these guys very, very strong. We're replacing a wishy-washy, rubbery end here on the toe link, which is actually, it's one of Ford's ball style joints, which to be fair, is pretty nice. And in fact, a decent upgrade you can do is to push this guy out and stick it into the knuckle swap for swap to make it even tighter. But anyways, this guy right here gets installed into the car. It's pretty quick and easy, pretty painless. STEEDA gives you two options for installing these. You can use the factory style camber adjustment here with the factory camber bolt, or you use the lockout plates and then camber adjustments are made solely using the adjustable center section here. I highly recommend not using the stock camber bolt. The reason why we don't tend to, especially in drag racing, is that this camber adjustment likes to move around under big power, whereas this locks out that factory adjustment and just uses the adjustment bolt in here in the middle, which is way better. So you don't need this stuff except for the nuts. If you just want to use the factory camber bolt, I recommend that you avoid that, and I'm going to show you how to install this fully using the lockout and the center adjuster. Now, before we even go out to the car, I'm going to unthread both ends of these, run the nuts all the way up to the center adjuster, and I'm going to take the ends off of one side at a time, and apply a little bit of anti-seize thread locker to these guys. Lessons learned here. Anti-seize goes a long way for ensuring that these guys don't bind up and stay nice and free and easy moving for adjustments. So put you a little bit of anti-seize on each side. A little bit goes a long way, and I'll meet you outside. Hey everyone, sorry to interrupt that awesome video that you're watching, but I need to take a minute to talk about our channel sponsor, CarLock. I don't know if you know this, but approximately every 3 seconds in the US, a vehicle is stolen. And I don't know about you, but I don't want to be part of that statistic. And CarLock is here to help you not become part of that statistic. How? Well, they sell a both OBD2 and hardwired version of a GPS tracking device that is 4G LTE enabled. Oh, but wait, there's more. It sends real-time notifications to your smartphone to say things like, hey, vibration has been detected. The door has been opened. Hey, your device has been disconnected. Someone's trying to steal it. Oh no, your engine has started. And even worse, your vehicle is now in motion and you didn't do it. And having those types of notifications for my project cars give me serious peace of mind. And they will for you too. Now, they also sell extension cables and splitters if you want to hide your OBD2 device under the dash, as well as extra sensors to increase your level of security if you so choose to. And for a short time, you're going to get a discount on your device. Well, down below, I'm going to have a code. First code is going to be for 10% off of CarLock's Amazon store. Second code is going to be for 14 free days of service. Y'all go check that out. Thank you very much, CarLock, for sponsoring this video here today. Y'all pick one up to help support the channel. Let's get back to the video. All right, clearly the car is picked up off the ground. Safely jack stand, wheels are off to give me some room to see here. Technically, the wheels could be on for this process. It'd be a little harder to torque these bolts, but because I usually do it from the outside, but you can do it with the wheels on if you get the underneath of the car high enough. Before I take the factory tow bar out, I want to take a measurement so that I can set it back roundabout where it was before for the drive to the alignment shop. If you use the method 1 that STEEDA gives you where you reuse the camber bolt, you can mark your camber bolt and take a measurement from here to here, and you adjust your tow arm to be the same size as the factory unit by laying them side by side. You stick it back in, make sure your measurements match, and you should be close enough that you don't need an alignment. I would still recommend you get an alignment, and because of that, why not go all the way to the lockouts like I described? I'm going to whip a measurement from here to here that will tell me about where I need to put the tow arms back for when it goes to the alignment shop. And it looks like I usually measure, I hook the outside of this bracket right here that the tow arm is connected to, come all the way down, and I'm measuring right at, it looks like about 14 and 11/16. So I'm gonna write that down. Where am I gonna write it, you might ask? 11, well, let's see, let's find a nice dirty place where I can see it. 11/16. Hey, see, there you go. I already know it's 14. I've got my other measurement written right here. Now, the next thing you're going to do is you've got a 18 mil bolt right here. It's got a captured nut, so just pull the 18 mil bolt. And then you've got a 21 mil nut right here that needs to come off. You're going to have to back up this eccentric bolt that's an 18 on the backside here. Go ahead and remove these two bolts. All right. And once you've got those bolts out, this guy will just slip on out of there. You're going to need this bolt again, so don't lose track of it. The next thing we're going to do, and I apologize ahead of time, this is a tight spot even with how much I have it jacked up. What I do is I fully collapse the adjuster evenly so that when we adjust it out, it comes out evenly. And this guy is going to go up in here like this. So slips in between the ball joint side. And then this side with the gusset facing down goes over the knuckle end right here. So let me first slip a bolt in this end so it stops fighting me, and I'll show you the other side. All right, so you can see here I've got it dangling in place. You're going to reuse your factory bolt, putting it back in the same direction. And you're going to use one of STEEDA's supplied locking nuts. It fits the factory bolt, and you're going to run that guy on until the lock touches. And that'll hold this in place while you swing this guy up into place, and we install it up into the body. Now, be fair warned, sometimes the knuckle kind of collapses inwards whenever you disconnect this, and it won't get in after the fact. Like I just noticed that mine is doing that. You can either push the knuckle outwards, or you can pull that bolt back in and slip it up here into the hole. So get it to where you're clamped on right here with this bolt, and the rod end is inside of this clevis and ready to go. I'm going to show you how to set up the hardware on this. All right, so I want to explain the lockouts to you. These lockouts, like I said, are very important, but and what I recommend for this install, but they are shaped a certain way, and you need to understand how to put them in properly. This hole is eccentric. It is not symmetrical. It's off to this side, right? And that's important to remember here, because we want this hole oriented in such a way that there's also a long side and a short side. If you install it this way, it's a hot dog in a hallway. That's not correct. You need to turn it the long way so that it fits tightly between these two bump outs on the subframe. And then you want the shorter side inbound. So towards the center of the car, towards the drive shaft, you want the shorter side, and the larger side faces outwards. You see that? And that's how they're going to look on both sides, because both sides have that same bump out. So on this side, you'd want the short side over here inboard on the car. Okay? And then this Allen-headed bolt goes in with a washer on it through this guy, and I install it the factory direction, which is the Allen head is on this side going through. And then on the other side, you're going to have your other lockout. You're going to have your washer, and then the other supplied locking nut. I don't have enough hands to do this on camera, and it's tight, so let me put it together and I'll show you. And you can see here, like I said, short side facing inbound, I've got nut, I've got a washer, I've got the lockout plate. And same thing on this side. Short side is over here. Lockout is inside of the tabs, got a washer underneath it. Now the next thing I'm gonna do, and I can't really show you this on camera, but if you twist this guy, the knuckle is gonna move in and out, and you're gonna have to force it to go out a little bit. I'm gonna measure from my location here to hooked onto the end of this bracket like I did before, and I'm gonna adjust this adjuster by turning the center until the measurements match. I've got my measurement pretty close enough. We're going to alignment right after this, so I'm not super concerned about it, and you shouldn't be either. Once we've done that, we're gonna take these jam nuts and we're gonna run them out until they bind against the body on either side. So this one right here, you can grab the flat right here with one adjustable wrench. Grab the other and you're gonna bind this guy up tight. Not so tight that you strip threads, just tight enough that the adjustment can't move. You don't wanna be mean to the alignment guy here. And then this guy right here, after you do that, you're gonna grab this one with one adjustable wrench and then the other with another adjustable wrench and bind this fella as well. All right, and boom, I've got this guy locked down here. All we need to do is torque these two bolts. Both of these bolts get torqued to 129 foot-pounds. Because there is a rubber bushing in this knuckle, you will need to put a jack. You put it right here into the knuckle. You pick the weight of this up until the car starts to lift up off the jack stands, or you wait until the car is on the ground. And that's really hard because there's not much room to touch this. So I just prefer to pick up on this, and I usually ask the alignment guy to break this loose again and retighten it just to make sure they're settled. In general, that's a really good thing to do on the alignment rack anyways, where there's room to get to these bolts. Anytime you lower a car or make an adjustment here, you need to make sure that anything with rubber is tightened at ride height under weight. So I'm going to go ahead and jack this guy up. 129 foot-pounds on this nut, 129 foot-pounds on that nut. And that's it. You're ready to go. Head to the alignment shop and get it lined up. All right, everyone. We're all back together. I'm gonna stick the wheels in and lower the car down. So I'm heading to the alignment shop right after this so we can move into part 5 of phase 1, where we show you the improvement that all of this STEEDA goodness has made to the car. All right, car's on the ground. What do you think, Jake? Immediate impressions.
It looks a lot better.
It's not settled yet.
No, but
Jake's gonna drive it for a bit on his way to the alignment shop, and he'll give you a shot of it when it's settled.
However, it should have come like that height from the factory. It's got 4x4 and everything forward.
I've got a GTD to go film on a dyno, so I'm rushing on my way out, but Jacob's gonna get you a shot of it at the shop. Thank y'all for watching the new video. As usual, we love you. God bless. Peace.